But here we go. All right, you guys. So welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is me breaking down and dissecting what I think to be is the real reasons behind why Bravo and Andy Cohen is putting the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on pause for a bit, at least until early January. I'll go through what it says in Reality Blurb, what they're putting out, but then we'll dissect what I think what's really happening. But before we do, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. Okay, so this is according to Reality Blurb. And so we'll go through the article first of what they're saying, and then I'll go through what I think is actually going on. Okay? So let's go. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills began production on season 12 in October 2021, which was prior to the end of the airing of season 11 that November. But when it comes to season 13, the cast is expected to have the next couple of months off. Okay. According to a new report, production is pumping the brakes on the start date for season 13 as rumors continue to swirl in regard to who will be left out of the new episodes and who will remain on the cast for its new season. Unlike last year when cameras were rolling by October, we're hearing that production is tentatively looking to gear up in late January 2023, the Queens of Bravo shared with their Instagram audience on November 12th. In October 2021, as Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12 went into productions, sources told TMZ that the series had begun filming several months earlier than normal because producers didn't want to miss any of Erika Jayne's legal saga and the drama surrounding it. Just over a year later, this is a very different story. As Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans may have seen, rumors began swirling in regard to what the season 13 cast may look like way back in August, when Tamara Tattle suggested the entire full-time cast, including Kyle Richards, Lisa Rinna, Dorit Kemsley, Erica, Garcelle Bouvet, Satin Strack, Crystal Konmikoff, and Diana Jenkins were series quote friends, Kathy Hilton and Cherie Zampini would likely return. But in the months since, may have called for the firings of both Lisa and Erica, who were accused of targeting Kathy amid season 12 by leaking stories about her meltdown in Aspen in an effort to take the heat off the legally troubled Erica. Others have requested the returns of former cast members, including Camille Grammer and Denise Richards. I think they should bring back Brandi Glanville and me, and hell, even Denise, if she will stop her Bravo effing Bravo and actually show up to work, Teddy Mellencamp said on Instagram last month. I think after BravoCon, a lot of relationships have shifted, and adding to those shifts would be juicy, plus I want to see some fun again. Prior to the news of the potential start date for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13, Lisa told host Derek Zagami on Reality Tea with Derek Z that the ladies needed a quote break after their brutal 12th season. We need a break. We need time. We need some time. We need to take time to let it settle, she said. Okay, so that is what they are putting out there. Now, and I also heard that Andy Cohen also said that, yeah, we need to take a break with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because of the backlash that it's been such a dark season that they need to sort of take a break. Now, I'm going to go through some of the reasons why I think they're actually taking the break. Okay, so let's watch this together. Let's go through it together. So I think the first reason why they're actually taking a pause is because of the Botgate investigation. You know, I think the fact that Diana Jenkins is saying she's doing her own investigation, but then at the same time, we have Garcelle doing her independent investigation, and nothing concrete has come out yet regarding either investigation. Diana saying she has some IP address in California is a big nothing burger. That's still not an identity. That's still not the actual people behind it. That's just one social media handle, but there were hundreds, if not thousands, of these, bots going after Jack. So that's a big nothing burger. I also think that they're looking probably into NBC doing their own investigation after the outcry that we all did after the reunion, right? Where you had them saying, "Oh, we did an HR investigation into Kathy Hilton, allegedly saying the F word, but the only person who magically heard it was Erica." They did a whole HR investigation into that, where Kathy allegedly just said something. It may be immoral to be homophobic, but the last time I checked, it's not illegal. But yet they did nothing to investigate the actual illegal threats made on Garcelle's son's life. We would have our foot on your neck or our knee on your neck if it wasn't for your white daddy. I'm sorry, but that is an actual threat. And the last time I checked, it's illegal to threaten minors online or in person, but yet NBC failed to do any type of internal investigation into that. So I'm sure that they're pausing, probably to do their own internal investigation or just to check what is their legal liability, right? Because don't forget, at the end of the day, these women are coworkers. That's why HR got involved with Erica and Kathy. They're coworkers. So if you're going to do this HR investigation over allegedly what somebody said, you need to do an HR investigation over what people allegedly did. They did an actual racist and threatening action against her son. So I bet you they're looking into doing their own HR, especially after our outcry. Also, whether I think they're trying to figure out if they're going to bring Diana back. People are saying, they want to bring her back to expose her. They want to bring her back because, the allegations about her being a madame and a sex trafficker, they're not true. They want to bring her back. Or, can they bring her back if she actually is behind Botgate? I think they need to wait to see what happens with the investigations before they try and make any casting decision, and then also to cover their own butts with any legal liability if it turns out concretely, not the fake stuff, that somebody from Bravo, i.e. Lisa, Erica, Diana, whoever, is actually behind Botgate. I bet you they're trying to figure out what their legal liability would be. Okay. Now, I also think that they're trying to figure out what's going on with Diana and all of her lawsuits and how that would expose NBC legally as well. She's going after, Crazy Days and Nights doing a lawsuit. She's going after these anonymous bots doing lawsuits. She sent all of the cease and desist to Dana Wilkie and to Sherelle and to the Gawker and to all these other people. But she's going to mess around and do that to the wrong person. And then that person is either going to do a class action suit where all the people that she's trying to silence will get together. Because, again, she has all this money, in her own words, privilege, right? So if you do a class action lawsuit and you get all the people that she's trying to silence, because those people have done nothing wrong. They're allowed to have commentary. They're allowed to be bloggers. They didn't start the rumors. And from what I've seen, none of them, and I'm just speaking from what I've seen, none of them have said it's a fact. They've all said this is the rumor, this is that and a third. Trying to silence us little guys, even Sherelle is still a little guy in the grand scheme of things. I know she has oodles and oodles of subscribers, but to go after a YouTuber now versus when these allegations have been out for over a decade. Do you see what I'm saying? I get that she has a lot of followers, but it's very different to go after a YouTuber versus other powerful people. What's his face came out and even talked about it. What is his name? Not Charlie Sheen. Another actor came out and talked about all the allegations that were going on. She hasn't sued them. She hasn't put a cease and desist on them. So I think that NBC is also probably trying to see what their legal liability and what they will be exposed to in all of her lawsuits, because she's going to mess around and find out. They may do a class action lawsuit against her. And if you do a class action lawsuit, or she might mess around and sue the wrong person who actually has money and has the means and has the time, sorry, you guys, to fight it. And then that opens up NBC and Bravo to discovery, to evidence seeking. Show us your production emails. Show us your executive text messages. Give us all of the footage. We already know that the feds and everybody else always subpoena Bravo, and we want all of your footage. We want all of your communications. I highly doubt NBC wants to be opened up legally to all of that exposure, because Diana's going to mess around and she's going to try and sue the wrong one. She's going to try and sue the wrong one, or all these little people are going to get together and do a class action suit against her for harassment and bullying. And what's the other law? It's in the SLAPP Act, or the SLAPP law, where it's when people who have money and means will sue other people just to silence them. It's not legally sound, but you can sue anybody. But just the threat of being sued will silence people. I think it's called the anti-SLAPP law. There's a lot of stuff going on. Heather McDonald and Tamara Judge were being sued by, I forgot her name. I think her name was like Jesus Jugs. I think she was on the Real House of OC. Her ex-husband sued Heather McDonald of Juicy Scoop, and Tamara Judge from the Real Housewives of OC sued them just because they were doing what we're all doing, talking about, these allegations, these are rumors, we heard this and that, and the third, and they won their case. They won because we are allowed to have opinions, and you can't just sue people to silence them. So I think NBC is probably taking a step back. And don't forget, everything with Botgate made Good Morning America. And that's when the suits, the people at NBC Universal, who are the people that own Bravo, started to pay attention. When the people at Good Morning America was like, oh, well, doesn't Bravo foster a toxic work culture and a lot of hostility? Don't they foster that? So when Good Morning America was starting to talk about it, then all of a sudden they started to pay attention to what was actually going on. Because Bravo owns tons of networks and tons of brands. I'm sure they weren't paying attention to what Andy Cohen was doing over here in Beverly Hills until it made Good Morning America, and also until Garcelle became like the darling of the world, because she actually has those connections. So I think that's a big reason why they're actually going on pause, right? Another reason I think they're going on pause is because, a mental health break for the cast and crew. Garcelle said she needed to take a break. She needed to step back and deal with everything. Her and her family have gone through a lot of trauma. It is traumatic to feel like you and your children are being attacked because of your race. It is traumatic to feel like you and your child are not being protected and supported and advocated for because of your race, from your friends, Sutton, from your boss, Andy Cohen, from your employer, NBC and Bravo, right? Like, that is traumatic, and that is a lot to carry, and it is embarrassing and humiliating for two people to sit across from you and laugh about throwing a piece of your life work, your memoir, into the trash and try and take you down. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I think it's also mental health breaks, right? And Lisa Rinna, we need to do a wellness check on her. Kyle Richards, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. We don't know what's going on with her. She lost all this weight. She's getting all these tattoos. She's dyeing her hair. She can barely talk. She's crying for 2 hours. She's just a mess, an absolute hot mess, and she's all over the place, right? So I agree. And the crew, maybe they need a mental health break too, because they've also come under fire. And we'll get into that with another reason why I think they're really going on pause. The next is Kathy Hilton's ultimatum. She's like, I ain't coming back if Lisa and Erica are coming back. She's like, I'm not. Miss me with that. They're bullies. They're mean. I don't want to be around them. And I get that. She shouldn't have to be around people who bully her and bully her family and her sister Kim and friends and everybody else. Maybe they're taking that into consideration. Maybe they're not, but it's on the table. Another real reason is casting shakeups. As we've seen, I don't think that production can get their stuff together to figure out the right housewife makeup mix. You know, they need to go out there and find some fresh faces, some new blood. It's going to take longer than that little 2 week hiatus between the reunion and when they were supposed to start filming to find that. Clearly, they dropped the ball when they cast Diana. I don't know why in the world they thought that was a good idea. And we already know from footage that they aired that they knew the allegations of her being a sex trafficker and her being a high class prostitution madame were out there. The producers asked her about it when they were talking about book room 23 in the confessionals. So they can't say they didn't know when they cast her. They knew and they cast her anyway. So clearly they got some stuff that they need to figure out. They're putting the feelers out there. Are they going to bring Carlton back? What about Camille? What about Denise, LVP, Brandy? They're putting all these different feelers out, trying to figure out the right mix of people to bring back. I think that they should bring back a couple of OGs, but I want to see some fresh faces. I want to see some new blood. I want to see some women who are rich with clean money and who have great personalities. Like that to me would be the essence of, the housewives. That's what I want to see. I want it light. I want it fun. I want opulence. I want to have aspirations. I want to be like, I want that one day. Because what we're seeing now, not never what these women are putting out, I'm not picking out. So they're probably doing some casting shakeups, and clearly they have not gotten their stuff together yet to start filming or to make any official announcements. Next, maybe there might be some production shakeups. Don't forget, production has been exposed in a very big way. They've been deleting scenes, they've been cutting scenes, they've been editing scenes, right? We all know that they deleted the Lisa Rinna scene where she admitted that she was lying and faking storylines. But yet all of a sudden that scene was leaked. We all know they got caught with the finale scene. There was one version of the finale for the America markets, and there was a totally different version of the finale for the international markets, where they cut out the whole thing with Erica's PR person and Mikey and her assistant being at her extension party on their phones and texting right in the mix when Lisa Rinna and Dorit are talking about the Kathy drama. And then it all came back full circle when Kyle was like, I heard it came from your camp that they were leaking it, right? Why did they delete that scene? Why was there two different versions? Doesn't make any sense. Then we see that they cut out the scenes with Erica putting Kyle on blast, admitting that Kyle wanted it all out and that she was co-signing it and she was happy Kathy Hilton was going through it. Why did they leave that out? Why did that have to become unseen footage? That should have been seen footage, And also, don't forget, we caught production. Remember when it was about 3 episodes before the reunion where they took that week hiatus to go back and re-edit, and we could tell that there were scenes that they had went back and shot just to insert. Like, for example, that scene between Dorit and Kyle in the car. Allegedly, it was after the Studio 54 party, but as we all know, that didn't pass the smell test. You're telling me that Dorit and Kyle are just randomly in Kyle's car talking the day after the party, looking fresh as a daisy, and their hair is exactly styled the way it was for the Studio 54 party? I'm a girl. I know when I get my hair done, and then I go out and I'm dancing, I'm drinking, I'm having fun, and I sleep on it the next day, your hair looks completely different. Stop playing in our faces, Bravo. You guys took that week off to then go and reshoot scenes and then insert them as if they happened in the past. That's fake. That's fraudulent. Because they wanted to get it on camera. Oh, we're not all ganging up on Sutton. We're not the mean girls anymore. Oof, it's just Lisa going off on her. We don't know why. She's grieving. Miss me with the BS. It was a completely made up scene. And then we had the contradictory scenes with Erica saying, these women are my friends, and if I had a problem, these women would say something and none of them have. But yet, 2 episodes before, didn't we see that fake intervention between Lisa Rinna, Mikey, and Erica? So which is it? Did Mikey and Rinna actually do that intervention? Or did you go back and shoot it and put it back in? Or did you lie at the Studio 54? Because I believe both could be true. I could believe Erica was lying through her teeth at the Studio 54 party. And I also could believe that they went back and shot that scene with Mikey and Lisa and Erica and then inserted it. Because we've seen them do that. So there might be some production shakeups because they're sloppy. This is the thing. We all get that it's a show. It's a reality television show. It's a show. We get it. That's why you have producers. They're there to what? Produce a show. But they're not there to create fake stories and fake storylines. That's why it's reality and not fiction. That's the biggest thing. They're supposed to take reality and then weave it into a story that makes sense. They're not supposed to cut it, delete, edit, go back, stage, lie, fake, phony, protect, fraud, blah, 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 blah. That's not what they're supposed to do. If I want to see something fake, I'll watch a soap opera. I'll watch How to Get Away with Murder. I'll watch Scandal. I'll watch Desperate Housewives. I'll watch an actual scripted show. If I want the producers to create fake storylines, I will watch a fictional show. But the production got exposed all the way out this season. They were just really, really sloppy. I don't know if they thought the internet didn't work everywhere, but the internet works everywhere. That's why you can't show one version to someone living overseas and expect people in the United States not to see it. It's called TikTok. It's called Instagram. It's called Facebook. It's called YouTube. Last I checked, they work around the world. Production got exposed. Next up, they're probably going to do an investigation into Lisa Rinna. I have a half a mind they might want to bring her back. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but they probably want the option to choose. But they probably have to investigate her online antics and threats. Don't forget, these allegations are out here. Allegedly, she's out here with fake Stan accounts, woke Stan baddie, going after people. Allegedly, she might be, in cahoots with Bhakti, her, Erica, and Diana. Allegedly, she's putting DMs out here asking for a hitman for Patrick Summers and Kathy Hilton. Now, do I think she literally meant a hitman? No. But do I think that there are some people who are unhinged and unbalanced and they will take a quote celebrity saying something and run with it? Yes. So I think that type of rhetoric, whether or not she literally meant it, is very, very dangerous. And that's what the problem is. I think they're also going to have to look into her posting that photo, allegedly, of her with a firearm, talking about when I find me a Patrick. I think that Andy Cohen is probably really pissed because she got out here on the streets and called him a liar when it came to the Real Housewives of Reunion Aspen Elton John receipts. At the end of the day, Lisa, whatever your quote-unquote receipts were, they were nothing and they're bogus, and you've never actually dropped them, so I don't think you actually had them. Just because you had some printouts doesn't mean that they were actually meaningful. And clearly they're not meaningful. That's why you're up here on Instagram story looking like a fool, talking about something when you could be about something and actually drop the receipts. But that's right, you haven't, because you don't have any. But I'm sure Andy's really pissed that she was out here calling him a liar. If I had a boss and I was calling them a liar, I'm sure there would be some repercussions for that. I'm sure. Also, they probably have to look into Lisa Rinna being exposed for staging scenes and faking storylines. Again, production got really sloppy when they let it slip that they deleted the scene with Lisa Rinna admitting she was lying and faking storylines, and then all of a sudden it came out. That was production's bad and Lisa Rinna's bad. How are you going to keep a housewife who is admitting to lying about storylines and other people? And then she also got exposed, allegedly, we'll just keep it alleged, for staging scenes. Don't forget about the whole Aspen situation, right? With the tequila gate. The bartender came out on Instagram being like, no, that was a setup. Kathy or Lisa Rinna brought the tequila prop. It was basically a prop, brought the tequila bottle prop and had me do, the pour and this, that, and the third and everything. And then when we saw it, it was water inside the tequila bottle because the actual tequila is like a caramel color. It's like a straw color, right? Not the water that Lisa Rinna said was the tequila and she took a shot of. So they're probably going to have to look into that. Did production know? How could they not know? And she's being exposed for it. So this is what I think is what actually is going on behind the scenes when it comes to why they put it on pause. There's a lot to unpack. There's lawsuits, there's legalities, there's threats, there's casting, there's production mistakes. There's a lot going on. Mental health issues. There's a lot going on. So, listen, I don't know, but I want to know what you guys think. I'm going to do my quick outro for the people who are watching on the who will be watching on the replay. But Candy Canes, stick around because right after I will go through my Candy Cane comments. But I want to know what you guys think. So put it down below. Do you think what do you think the real reasons are for them putting it on pause? Do you think it's the NBC legalities? Do you think it's the mental health, Kathy's ultimatum, casting, production, investigation into Lisa Rinna and into Diana and probably Erica Jane too? Put it down. And do you think this is the right move for NBC and Bravo to put them on pause? Or do you think they should just get their stuff together and start filming now? I think putting it on pause is the right move. As you can see, they have a lot that they need to sort out. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And don't forget to shop our description box down below and our love collection and send a super thanks if you feel so inclined. Thanks, guys. All right, now that we have that out of the way,